I got to go back a ways. I know you with Empire right now, but being with Def Jam and at a most impactful time on the West Coast, you've discovered a lot of artists, make sure that the artists were able to tell their stories. What are some of the artists that you remember that you really had to work with and really make sure they got out there at the time in the 90s where it was such a pivotal time?
It was a few. One would definitely be Montel Jordan. There were several that were kind of like coming up. There was a young lady by the name of Kay Fox that never necessarily came out, but she had beautiful music. She came out, she put music out, but at that time it was harder. Everybody else, we had so many greats, you know, whether it was Redman, Method Man, X, or Jay, or any of them. It was kind of a little bit easier for us to put them out.
Talk to me about Richie Rich and making sure.
That's the one. Yes, Richie Rich is the one. That's my heart. Yes.
What was the process of making sure that a guy like Richie Rich, who's talented, coming from the Bay Area, and making sure he gets that national attention that you and the talent that you saw out of him?
I think the biggest thing was his music, because he definitely knows what he's doing when it comes to rapping and everything else. But sometimes just giving him a sound that is not normal, that doesn't sound like the Bay, and him put the Bay on top of that, helps him to break outside of just the Bay Area.
Now, another artist I'm gonna hit you with is Warren G. We now know the impact that Warren G has, obviously 30 years of Regulate the G-Funk era. When you heard that album, what went through your mind when you heard that album from Warren?
The first thing I thought about was, damn, we got one of those ones from Dre and from Snoop and the whole crew. I felt like Warren was that glue to all of it, and he did well. You know, I was very happy for him, because he's just a good person overall, regardless of whether he's a rapper or anything. He's just a good guy. So I was real happy that he was able to get his shine and his mark in the business, because he was a producer, and a lot of people didn't necessarily give him the credit he deserved.
You have been impactful in the music scene for many, many years. How have you been able to open doors for other women, especially black women in the business, to be able to get their opportunity to shine in whatever area they want to shine in the music industry?
When I'm sitting at the table, I make sure I speak for them, I reach out to them, I mentor them, and I hold that door open as wide as I can to make sure they run through.
You at Empire, and we've seen the growth of Empire over the last several years. What are some of the artists that really have resonated with you that you say, okay, this artist has it not just from a musical standpoint, but as a human standpoint as well?
Oh, most of them, honestly, because they have a different mentality when they think about doing it for themselves and building generational wealth. But whether it's Anaya or Shabuzi, or it's Dolph, rest in peace, or anyone else that might be Ashake or Africa, any of our African artists, Fireboy, Alameda for that matter, all of them are really, really beautiful people outside of them being extremely talented.
You mentioned Young Dolph, and obviously rest in peace to him and his family. But when you talk about Young Dolph, a lot of people don't just look at the music, but they looked at his perspective and the way he was able to handle himself as a young business person. What are some of the memories you have of Young Dolph and where he was, and where do you thought he could actually go if given the opportunity?
Well, you know what? Dolph was very smart in the way that he dealt with his business. First and foremost, he was involved in it in every capacity. And he made sure that everybody understood what his culture and his vision was. He was very authentic to who he was, but he was teaching. He was teaching Key Glock. He was teaching Big Moochie Grape. He was teaching everybody the way to do the business. He and Daddy-O were the trailblazers for all of that. I think what's important is that when you are an artist, you don't just sit back and let your manager do everything. And he did it, actually. He and Daddy-O were partners, and they worked as that.
Lastly, for me, I'm going to ask you a quick question. If there was a story about your life and your impact on this music business, would you rather have a documentary, would you rather have a series done, or would you rather do a book?
A series, a book, and a documentary.
Why all three?
Because you can't get everything in everything. So a book will tell you a lot, and it'll color in the lines, but a documentary will also have other people speak for you and speak about you. And the series, I think, is because it's been 30 plus years. You can't just do it in one.
I hear that. I wholeheartedly agree. Well, it has been an honor and a pleasure to speak with you. And one and only Tina Davis, you are legendary. You are a culture creator, and you continue to elevate the culture in numerous ways. So just want to give you your flowers and your respect.
Thank you so much.